come to the end of this current season, but don't despair, we'll be back with a brand new look and some changes. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the final episode of Season 9. Our environment remains under threat. Resolutions are being passed by the most influential bodies, but it will all come down to naught if we don't do our part. Join us as we find out more about an interfaith project which aims to conserve and educate people about the environment.
Protecting the environment has become more important than ever as it is key to our survival as a species in the future. Industries across the board are investing human capital into making sure there will be something for the next generation, which in turn has led to a slew of new jobs. Yusuf Raja is passionate about saving the planet and he gets to do this on a daily basis.
It all started with an opportunity that came about with provincial government. And I got employed there many years ago now. I've always had a passion for the environment. I think having a job where you wake up in the morning excited about what you're going to do, seeing the benefit that you are making, whether it is on a specific project, whether it's to a community, whether it's to the environment, is very satisfying. You know, working in a company that allows you to explore, innovate, find solutions, all of that it's appealing.
Ever since his days at the Department of Environmental Affairs, where he was part of the Green Scorpions, tasked with protecting the country's fauna and flora, Yusuf's commitment has been to protecting nature and all that comes with it. He's since moved on from government but remains in his field of expertise, protecting the environment.
Environmental management requires us and anybody that works in the built environment, it's about managing competing interests and finding a balance between development, conservation, preservation. In many instances, that balance can be achieved with a bit of thought and application and willingness from all parties to try to achieve a solution. We have to be sensitive to the needs of development and developers and to move the country forward, but it has to be done responsibly, considering what the best outcome could be and all the different options that are available and in choosing the one that is best fits that particular site. So no two sites are the same. And that's where the value comes in. What risks are we trying to address, understand, mitigate, avoid, and what value are we bringing to the developer, to the environment, to the project that we're working on?
Yusuf is dynamic. He's well-read, he's well-spoken, he's very family-orientated. He likes to understand the problem first before he comes up with a solution. So and he comes up with lots well thought of and very logical solutions to problems. We both work in the planning department of Wooden Arab. And I'm a traffic engineer and he's an environmental consultant, so we liaise quite often on mega projects, Wooden KZN, KwaZulu-Natal and Wooden across the country. He's taken his position with the company to the next level, in that he's looking at environmental and looking at it from a different perspective, not from a conventional environmental perspective. So he looks at it with the eye from, let's get an understanding of what the developer's intentions are. And I think that's what sets him apart from other environmental consultants.
When a fire destroyed most of this factory, Yusuf's company got the tender to oversee the environmental impact assessment and ensure the new building adheres to strict green principles.
We've been appointed to assist this facility with recovering from this unfortunate incident that happened a few months ago, which was a fire, specifically from an environmental point of view in terms of remediation and cleaning up and responding to it in that way. Well, we've been on site now for about 2 months, and our role is, one is to ensure that the remediation happens in a responsible fashion, that we appoint the right people, we get the right contractors involved, and that we communicate our progress with the relevant authorities, keep them informed, and we have regular progress meetings, and basically to make sure that the recovery happens in an acceptable way from an environmental point of view.
As a young Muslim, he is dedicated to his religion and puts this into practice by giving of his time, energy and expertise in recycling old containers into classrooms, mosques and libraries.
This project is referred to, we call it the Mobile Musalla project. And the concept started when a group of us traveled to Jordan and Syria to have a look at the humanitarian issue there. And we learned from some of the work that was done there in terms of doing similar types of projects. And we imported that thinking to South Africa, and this is what the result of that is. At the moment, it's been used for madrasa classes, but it's also been used for salah facilities. And then also, because it's such a prominent container, that other organizations can use it for medical distribution. So it becomes more of a community center. So for example, in Ramadan, we've got a program where we visit all the areas where we have containers, and we're going to be doing winter warmth distribution. So we'll be doing blankets and beanies and that, and as well as hampers for the local community. So it's become more of a focal point in that locality, over and above the madrasa classes and the salah that's been performed within it. We do this on a volunteer basis, and everybody in our organization does it on a volunteer basis. And there's a dual benefit in any of this work. One is there's a benefit of the giver, and then there's a benefit of the receiver.
Yusuf is the type of person whose care and concern goes beyond his daily work and lives his religion through service in the name of Allah.
I believe if I focus on adding value in whichever way I can, in whichever scenario I'm in or project I'm in, then that would in itself be an advertisement to others to understand the importance of conservation, preservation, social work, and all of those things. I think on an individual level, if you focus on that, the rest of it should take care of itself.
Young people such as Yusuf give credit to not only this country, but also their religion as they continue to shine bright. Earth, or at least this part of it, has some hope for being taken care of through the work Yusuf does. He is another young person who is a credit to the South African Muslim community.
It's kind of bittersweet that we're finishing our final episode. For me, my journey started more than 12 months ago, and I must say, I've enjoyed every single episode. Maulana Zakaria Philander is standing by with this week's Q&A.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Q&A on An Nur the Light. Our first question is one I received on many occasions. This person would like to know, can I listen to the Imam on the radio in order to perform salah? You can listen to the Imam on the radio to get the benefit of seeing what the salah is like, what is being done, what is being said. It's another matter altogether to follow the Imam in prayer. In order to follow the Imam, you have to physically be part of that congregation. So it is not permissible in Islam, and you are not considered then to be part of the congregation if you are not physically there. Our next question comes from our Twitter page. Is it permissible for a woman to divorce a man if she finds no love, happiness, comfort in that relationship? I think it's important here for us to pause and just to reflect on what the merits of a relationship really are. Relationships comes with challenges, it comes with difficulties, and at times it really tests us to the maximum. We should not enter into talks of divorce as a first option if there is problems in a relationship. Divorce then is the prerogative also of the male in Islam, and when the female wants to end the marriage, then she has an option of an annulment. She should really reflect and consider carefully whether the reasons for her wanting an annulment are legitimate and whether it's going to be in her best interest in the long run. A qadi, a hakim, or an imam will help her through this trying time. Our next viewer would like to know, can a hafidha, a female who memorized the Quran, lead other girls in salah? A hafidha, a lady who had achieved the memorization of the entire Quran, most definitely it is a very meritorious act. It is something praiseworthy, and definitely her rank in the eyes of the Creator is a high one. Is she allowed then to lead others in prayer? Most definitely she is allowed to lead other females in prayer. There can be nothing more meritorious than for her to recite what she had learnt and to lead others in prayer. That brings us to the end of this Q&A session on An Nur. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For those of you who would like to get in touch with Maulana, details are on screen. Saris for Change is a story that touched my heart when we first screened it. We decided to showcase this amazing project to those of you who missed it.
Rihanna Edwards, one of the driving forces behind Sari for Change, uses her creativity as a means to build what she calls a sacred economy. Sari for Change creates sustainable livelihoods for women entrepreneurs by training unemployed women to create new garments using recycled saris.
I've been in the industry for 20 years and involved at every stage of the clothing industry. For instance, I would hop onto a plane to Vietnam, India, Pakistan at any given time and just walk into the marketplaces and go and source, visit manufacturing plants all over the world. And it got to a stage where I realized, what are we offering as South Africans? For instance, the Muslimah market is valued at $90 billion. Why are we not part of that? You get to a point where you feel you need to do something different and more meaningful.
Rihanna Edwards and Majida Rawat first met at a prayer gathering, and from here a friendship developed that would impact positively on both women's lives. They embarked upon the project Sari for Change.
Saris for Change is a project, I call it my labor of love, that came about because I recognize that a sari is all of 6 meters, and being in the boutique and clothing industry for 20 years, your biggest expense is fabric. So when the budget is tight, you make a plan. And this is how Sari for Change was born, where we had this idea to collect unused saris and teach people how to stitch.
Saris for Change actually started just without any of us humans being involved. My daughter, who's a teacher with the Art of Living, put an email out and the saris just arrived. We had rooms and rooms and rooms full of saris, so it came first. And then we started the project and it's just been very blessed.
With a background in the clothing and textile industry, Rihanna took on the task of designing garments. Today, Sari for Change offers young designers an opportunity to make their mark by contributing their own designs. Rihanna has her own incubator where she is currently teaching 6 women how to create their own range.
I grew up with my grandmother's little machine, always with the noise in the background, and I felt it was my duty to do something. When we opened up Sari for Change, we decided that we needed to look at the skill level. How are we going to improve on that to really make a difference in this industry?
Meaningful Changes project is cultivating possibilities. People come and they're so down because they put the money first. And then the heart comes into it. And in this instance, the heart comes first. And put your intention out. And it starts happening.
The incubator of designers has recently come up with their first clothing range, and the profits can only flow from here. This is empowering these women to make a living from the skill set they have gained under Rihanna's mentorship.
My friend Rihanna, she's grown and she's a mother of 5 children that's gone to study after they were all there and going to university already, and come out with new ideas and enthusiasm and never saying no and always just go for it. And she is really, if I must say I'm proud of something, it is of her growth and the things that she has accomplished. With her help and her enthusiasm, we have really created something that we look at it and we still can't see exactly how it happened, but it's wonderful.
Rihanna owns a store in Northcliffe in which she displays her latest ranges. Her plan is to expand her stores and in the process empower others to open their own businesses.
The plan is to have 10 more stores rolled out countrywide within the next 2 years. And we also would like to take on the export market. I've started an entrepreneurial network where we look at companies that's starting out, and if we all come together and support each other, we can be part of building what I call a sacred economy.
It can't stop. As long as we're alive, and maybe even beyond, I think we have to help.
Oprah Winfrey says, "It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. The ability to triumph begins with you, always. So too it is for Rihanna and Majida, whose dream to make a difference has touched the lives of others, changing it for the better. They are truly women of substance.
Our travels have taken us across this beautiful country we call home. Limpopo is this week's featured province.
Our first stop in the province of Limpopo was none other than world-famous Magubaskloof, an area of immense natural beauty and a great place for the adventurous soul.
We are located in Magubaskloof, Kenopitos, in Zanin. So actually here we're dealing with adventure activities. Activities that are taking place here, we're doing canopy tours. Famous, most of the people, they call it zip lining. Actually, we just call it canopy.
Safety is of course paramount for these adventure tours, and the necessary briefing session is short but quite informative.
The canopy tours, it originated in Costa Rica, where the biologists actually, they were just studying about the fauna in the forest. So what they were doing, they were just actually climbing up the trees using the abseiling ropes. So it was quite a mission for them to climb up and down. So they came with the idea that how about we just install some decks over the trees and linking them with cables. That's how the canopy originated. Actually, we'll just encourage people, like, it's full of fun, enjoyable, especially for families and friends. They can just come and do it, just to come and watch the view over the gorge. Place that it was not accessible before, but now is accessible because of the canopy. So you can just come and watch the waterfalls and the beautiful views around the gorge. Most of the people that they came here, they've said it that we've got one of the nicest view around. So when you're sliding here, trust me, the view is very magnificent, it's very nice.
The thrill of the canopy tour is hard to express. It's an experience unlike no other. Sliding from canopy to canopy is most definitely a great way to spend a day. Just over 21 kilometers from the town of Zanin lies Dibageni Waterfalls. It is a place for family fun and one of Limpopo's famous attractions. People come from far and wide to enjoy the cool waters of the falls or just to chill and relax. The name Dibageni was given by the Pedi tribe who once roamed here, and it means the place of the big pot. Water cascades over its lip and falls 80 meters into the basin, which resembles the pot for the Pedi people. Dibageni is a must-see if you're visiting close by. After all that traveling, you're sure to get hungry, and in the town of Polokwane is a local favorite with familiar foods.
So my takeaway started in 2011 during July. It was my mother-in-law's idea. She wanted to follow her passion in food, and that's where it started from. The food that we make at my takeaway mostly consists of sandwiches, T-bone platters, chicken platters, pizzas, pastas. It's any fast food really.
Their speciality is pizzas and chicken made with the best ingredients. A group of well-trained staff prepare the foods in the kitchen, so you are guaranteed a freshly made meal. Their chicken is made with an old family recipe that's been handed down from mother to daughter.
One of the favorites at Mait's is the flame grilled chicken, which we do in lemon and herb and piri piri. Both the recipes have come from Mozambique. It's actually a family recipe that got passed down, and it seems to be popular in the community, so everyone enjoys that.
You'll definitely leave this place with a hunger well taken care of.
With a tear in my eye, it's time to say goodbye. It's not for good though, but it still signals the end of an amazing time I've had. We'll be playing out with a lovely song, but I encourage you to stay tuned and find out when we'll be back on air with our brand new look. I'm so excited. From me, Mari Mukwanda, and the An Nur team, Salang Hantle, Assalamu Alaikum.
vetëm ty të besoj, vetëm ty të adhuroj. Ti je një padyshim, ja Rahman, ja Rahim. Ti je ai që më gëzon, ti çdo dhembje më shëron, kur devijoj ti më udhëzon. Dhe Sarin ma çmuar kam, Kur'anin uzim kam Allah, alhamdulillah. Rrugës të ndes kam me unë batër jetën, deri frymën e fundit, inshallah.
Allah, 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 përveç teje zot nuk kam, la ilahe illallah. Allah, 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 there is no God but you, la ilahe illallah.
Të e zotim, lavdi të takon vetëm ty, je krijuesi i gjithësisë, ja Rahman, ja Rahim. I madhruar je o Zot, falëndrimi ty takon për çdo të mirë që më ke dhënë.
Allah, you are supreme, my